I just wanna scream and shout, lift my hands, get up, scream and shout, yeah, lift my hands, come on, scream and shout, lift my hands, get up, scream and shout, lift my hands, I just wanna lift my hands, I just wanna scream and shout, I just wanna lift my hands, I just wanna scream and shout, I just wanna lift my hands, I just wanna scream and shout, I just wanna lift my hands, I just wanna scream and shout, lift my hands, 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 scream and shout, 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 shout,
And everybody should know that's how love goes. It's good for the soul. Oh, I got a long way to go, but it won't stop the pain. No, that's the kind of thing that keeps me coming back again and again. Till I see your face, I won't be satisfied. No, no, I won't stop. I won't quit until I'm yours and you're mine. Don't you know? And I can't live my life for nobody else but me. Everybody else trying to tell me what to do. I live without me. That's the way that love goes. That's the way it goes. You said it's good for the soul. Everybody should know that's how love goes. It's good for the soul.
Good evening, good evening. Woo-wee, the mic is hot.
Yeah,
Come on now. We ready? Good evening.
Wow.
You're tuning in live, obviously, to the Healthy Soul Talk Show with your girl, your favorite therapist, Dr. Kimberly Thomas. It's been a minute, but I'm here. I'm back. Let me see what I got going on here. Got some furballs on me. Okay. Good evening. Come on in here. Come on in. Listen, if you're joining us live on Block Talk Radio, welcome. Facebook Live, welcome. If you want to tune into the show, make a few comments or join in on a conversation, you can dial us at 323-870-4375. Again, that's 323-870-4375. Press 1 to join us. And if you want to email us any questions, concerns, or anything you just want us to talk about, feel free to email us at hst@ttlomedia.net. Again, that's hst@ttlomedia.net. And you can follow us on all social media platforms at Healthy Soul Talk. You can also catch the amazing shows throughout the week on TTLO Media, going to Spotify and iHeartRadio, and click join to keep updated on those live shows. All right, here we go. It's been a while. I just feel like I've been out. I think I'm just yeah, we're gonna get to that.
you was only out the one last week.
I know, it just felt
We feel like we feel the same way. We ain't been here either. We've been doing one show a week.
Oh.
Yeah, we weren't here.
Enjoying life, huh? Enjoying life.
We went out. We went to Ohio. So yeah.
Not good, but
The trip was fine.
okay. All right. Okay. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Good evening.
I'm good. Fighting the cold, but I'm good.
Like, keep the cooties over there.
I know I'm good. It ain't COVID. I went to take a test. They wanted me to take a test before I came back to school.
Really?
Yeah, they're like, could you go take a test, please?
He's cootie proof.
Yeah.
Do you all do testing on site?
No.
Oh, okay.
Mm-mm.
All right.
Probably would be cool if they did, but no.
Okay. Any reason? Like, I know some schools have.
Some people, some schools do have a in-house. I think that was supposed to be part of the plan anyway. And a lot of them didn't do it because the schools have to pay for it some kind of way.
Oh, got it. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, take your vitamins, get your rest, drink your fluids, your water.
I guess that's what I'm supposed to be doing right now, but I already got fussed at by my mama. So.
Well, we need to add more people. We need to just add more people.
We need more people.
If you're not compliant, right, then we need a stronger force.
Yeah.
This is the season, right, to get the flu and
I
all
get
that
one
kind of
cold. I get a cold every 3 to 4 years. So this is about my time.
stuff. Does it knock you out though? Does it
It does.
really?
Yeah, it's been bad the last few days. Like I didn't go to work Tuesday and Wednesday.
Oh.
Yeah, like today was my first day at work, and I was in there like the shivering and carrying on. I actually don't feel as bad now because I'd already planned not to go into tomorrow, but maybe I will. Depends.
You got to take care of you.
That's what the lady told me at school today. She's
Take
like, "You're not
care.
gonna get better being here.
Wow.
Not with all these kids with cooties." That's what the lady said, Mrs. Prince-Horn. Yes.
Facts.
Yes.
Those are true facts. Wow. Well, I hope you feel better.
I get that.
Right,
I get that.
some
I'm drugging
rest.
up. I'm drugging up real good.
Oh,
Me and Dayquil
day-
and NyQuil in the midnight hour. NyQuil.
Any hot toddies?
No, you know what? Because then I got to get up in the morning. Because if I drink it the way I want to drink it,
I was about to say, what are you concocting?
well, I don't, I'm easy. I ain't
Mostly
cheap.
tea, right?
Yeah, but
With
you
a
got
dab.
with a dab.
Yes.
With a dab.
The dab.
Okay.
Shot in it. Too.
No, okay.
Yeah, okay.
We'll talk about the recipe a little bit later. Welcome, great people.
I ain't seen the dab recipe.
What?
They say shot.
Okay.
My grandma made me.
Okay. So you are to still be coherent after consuming
But you finna go to sleep.
the concoction.
You take it before
But you
bed.
can get up in the morning. You shouldn't have any
See, my problem is I'm gonna drink the hot toddy and then be like, well, since you poured one,
Keep the party going.
keep the party going.
I think that's where it goes left. Okay.
You could be absolutely correct.
It sounds like she might be right.
You might be right. Could you turn my mic down just a little bit? Because
A
it
smidget.
is good and hot.
Right here?
I think I'm louder than you. If that's
Two?
three.
Three. Yep, 3 was up.
Three.
today.
There we go. Yeah, yes, that's wonderful.
Thank you all for joining in, and hopefully you got something out of that
Potion.
that potion, right? That we were just talking about. All right, listen, let's get into it here. With the spiritual connect, you know how we kick off the show. Good evening, everybody that's joining us here. Let me make sure I get it on these comments. Do I need to refresh anything? All right.
If the last comment is updated, you see 5 of 5 at the bottom, right?
Yes.
Yep,
I
then you
see
good.
some previous stuff. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
You're good.
Here we go. So the spiritual connect point question is, how do you let God comfort you in the midnight hour? And this question actually came to me because I was in a weird space for the past few weeks, doing a lot, giving a lot, and I was like, okay, God, I'm tired, right? And not physically tired,
Mentally.
right? Just kind of like pouring out, and new stuff right on the horizon because God is amazing. And so it was just, I don't want to say I couldn't pray, but I needed to rest, right?
I know
And
what that
so
is.
I spend my time talking to God throughout the day. Every chance I get, we just talk. And so my last communication to God for these few weeks have been, I just need rest, right? I gotta wake up restored because I've taken on more, in this fall season. And I'm a firm believer in quality care, quality service. And so, we always say, you're your worst critic, and you hold yourself to these standards. But I just believe in quality care, and I'm not perfect, right? So I know that there's always room for improvement, but you're always called to do more, right? Much is required, and eventually you just gotta rest. And so that's where I was with, okay, is it really okay to say, okay, God, I'm just gonna rest, right, in your arms, in your presence, right, and it's okay, right, because I think that for me that question kind of premises on, before you go to bed, you gotta pray, right, you gotta pray, that's your last thing before you close your eyes. But I'm obviously I was already praying, and getting home at a certain time, you gotta wind down, do this, that, and the other. I just had to go straight to, okay, God, I'm about to rest in your arms. And I just want, and I'm waiting on you to come in here and just, it's okay to just rest, right, in his presence, right? But I think that sometimes we've been built up to just say, before you close your eyes, you just got to give this prayer, right? This okay, check out, if you will. Check out your night with a prayer. And sometimes you tapped out. You don't have words, right? All you have is, okay, God, I need you to just hold me, right? Is that a prayer, right? Is that an appropriate prayer? Does that make sense and not feel like, okay, if I don't pray tonight, right, like I usually do, then somehow, God is not going to be pleased, right, with my line of communication, the way we've been built up to go to sleep at night. Before you go to sleep, make sure you pray. So that's kind of where I was with. I just been in that space, like, God, I need to check out with you, right? And I'm just gonna lay here in this safe space for you to restore and revitalize, right, and fill me back up for what I have to do the next day. I had no words, I did all that, right? God, forgive me. I've been doing that, because it's some stuff, attitude, right? Myself. So I felt like I addressed those issues before I went to bed. But I think that's where I was do people feel safe and comfortable in our culture just laying their head down at night saying, okay, God, I'm just going to rest in you right now? Is that cool? Is that biblical? Is that, a part of our religion, quote unquote?
Okay.
Yeah. I'm still there though, right? Because it's a lot going on, but that's where I've been for the past few weeks.
If okay, so your question that you sent me, just a bit for clarity, says talks about the midnight hour.
Yes.
And you said, is it okay? That was the question. Yeah, you said to let God comfort you in the midnight hour. And absolutely, the answer is yes. And to answer your other question, just saying what you said is having a conversation. There is no wrong way to pray. And I know some preachers are probably gonna get mad at me for saying that. But you're having a conversation with your father. So just like you would ask your daddy can I just lay here and you just hold me? Then that's the same conversation you're having with God, who is your spiritual father. The Bible says, so when you mentioned midnight hour to me, I instantly went to one of my favorite scriptures, which is Acts chapter 16 and 25. And it simply says, and at midnight, Paul and Silas prayed and sang praises unto God, and the prisoners heard them. In that particular case, that's a little different than what you were saying, because you're saying, I am tired. I'm mentally, I've spent all I can, and now I'm just saying, God, can you just hold me? in that scripture that I gave you, Paul and Silas are giving God praise even though they're in the prison.
Right.
All right. So if you start talking about midnight, it's that thin space of 60 seconds that separates yesterday from a new day.
Very
it's
true.
Literally 60 seconds.
Very true.
And it's the cut on the cups that brings a whole new fresh, like that literally becomes the past, right? So fresh possibilities, a time of change, all of those things.
Wow.
And while we're asleep, midnight quietly blurries yesterday. Yeah. Every now and then I feel all right. I just
Come on now. Come on.
every now and then. But a lot of times midnight blurries yesterday's disappointments.
Okay.
Yeah. God moves at midnight.
I'm here to tell you.
Yeah, he moves at
Yes.
midnight. He
Yes.
does his best work in the dark. There's power in midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Breakthroughs come through at midnight. Yeah, okay, all right, let me not preach. But so we have to be careful. And I want to give you this scripture that will fit what you're talking about. 1 Peter 5:7. 1 Peter 5:7. 1 Peter 5:7 simply says, let me get there quickly. 1 Peter 5:7. I'm going to give you the King James Version, and then I'll give you a different one. But it's the one that we've heard quite often. It simply says, cast your cares on him. Cast your cares on him. A lot of times, just to go back to what you asked, absolutely, that's okay for you to do that.
Yeah.
If you just say, you know what, God, I'm done. I just can't. I just need you to have this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just need you to have this. I can't, I did it my way, or I've tried it this way and that way. And God, here, I'm just going to give this to you. Cast your cares. That's what King James says. Cast all your care upon him. The NIV version, which is interesting, says it like this. Casting all your anxiety
Okay.
on him because he cares for you.
Okay.
So, yes, it's okay to say, God, can you just, you know what? I don't even want to, it's kind of like you as a therapist or a counselor. A lot of times your biggest job is to what? Listen. Not to even give advice.
Yes.
It's to listen. And sometimes some people just want to be heard. Other times, they just want to be held.
Right.
Now, that ain't your job as a therapist. But
Very true.
but that is the job of the significant other.
Yeah.
That's the job of the parent. A lot of times,
Loved
when a
ones,
kid is
yeah.
having a moment, they just want somebody to scoop them
Absolutely.
up and hold them.
Yes.
And to just like little kids reach out for mama and daddy to pick them up, we do the same reaching out to God.
Yes.
So it's okay in that midnight hour to say, God, I am tired. I am not feeling my best. I am at a weak state.
Right.
But that's when God does his best work. He
And
does
you have
it.
to surrender to that.
That's
Right?
because
You have to
we have
surrender
to. There has to be a desire.
Yes.
There has to be a desire for us to want to and it has to be a desire to want to be led. And the goal is to not only do it when we're at our weakest. It's easy to say turn it over to God when you're weak. When we think all cylinders are firing, we don't go to God.
Right.
But that's when we mess up. See? So I love the question about going to him in the midnight hour. Absolutely. It is a time of, I know some of my best, and I wouldn't say best, some of my best writing, because I won't call it a best sermon. Some of my best writing has happened in the midnight hour. Literally. At 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Because it is when I am when I'm frustrated and at my lowest,
Right.
that God has a way of showing up and doing some amazing things. Yeah.
And I just, I concluded it like this. Like, I trust God enough that if I lay in his presence,
Mm-hmm.
he's
Mm-hmm.
going to restore me. I will wake up
Mm.
renewed.
Mhm.
I will wake up refreshed.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's what I want somebody to take away from this is to trust God. When you
Mhm.
say, God, I'm depleted.
Mm.
Right. I'm depleted. I need to wake up renewed, restored, refreshed,
Mhm.
replenished. Right. Give me, what I need to continue to do your work.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because we do God's work 24/7. Right. Wherever we are, he is.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so I just wanted, to encourage someone to say, hey, it's okay, right? To lay your head down at night and say, God, work on me,
Yeah.
right? While I'm asleep, work on me, heal my body, restore my mind, whatever it is.
But that's
right?
when restoration, part of bed rest. If you take it to a medical, part of bed rest is when your body says, I'm done.
Listen.
You have to let it.
Yes.
You have to let and a lot of times it's when you're sleeping and you'll wake up with what you believe is fresh energy, but your body's still, and a lot of times we want to get up because we feel that burst.
Yeah.
But your body's not done. So a lot of times and this is the part we need to be careful of. When you talk about the literal midnight, we don't mean we could be 11:59, 12 o'clock. Absolutely.
Right.
But then you have to use your spiritual mind, and your midnight hour could be right now.
Okay.
So see, I don't know when your midnight is.
Right.
So your midnight could be at any time. So my midnight, because midnight could just be in my worst time, in my weakest moment.
Yeah.
So yes,
Yeah.
it could absolutely be 11:59 p.m. But it could also be 10:30 a.m. But I'm having the worst moment. So it to me, mentally and spiritually, it feels like my midnight. And so I'm going to talk to God in this midnight moment.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah,
like
you
it.
can
I
you can
love it.
definitely
Love
live
it.
in that restoration of the actual physical midnight. But don't constrict yourself to only that time frame. And the way you talk to God in that form of God, look, I need you
Right now.
just to, and you've been in that, I don't know, maybe you've never been in that situation, and whoever, people listening and watching, ever been in a situation, whoever you're with, and they say, well, how was your day, or whatever, and your response might just be, you know what, can I just lay here?
Right.
Because I know I've done that to her, and just be like, can I just lay here?
Yeah.
Because it's just that bad. Yeah. And we have to be okay from a spiritual standpoint, of course, to talk to God, but then we also have to be okay from a natural standpoint to know when we just got to lay here too. Yeah.
Key.
Yeah.
Very key.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, y'all. There we have it.
I'm out.
There we keep doing you.
Huh?
Right? Keep
that
doing you. All right, love it. Let's keep going here. Welcome everybody. We always kick off the show with the spiritual connect point, and as we get to the core of what we're talking about, I get into a did you know? Last month we were pretty serious with what we were doing in terms of giving some pertinent statistics, and so we're back to our interesting. I have to get my speech ready for this one. So I found this. Did you know?
Pray church.
I think last year sometime we were talking about phobias, and I didn't see this particular phobia on the list, but it came right up this time. So I'm gonna say it in slow motion, right? Because I found it interesting, and this is one of my favorite foods as well, right? So here we go. Did you know? Arachibutropia.
Don't sound right.
Go ahead.
Arachibutrophophobia is the persistent fear or intense distress caused by peanut butter sticking to the roof of one's mouth. Okay? Got it? There is a phobia for a fear, a persistent fear, or intense distress caused by peanut butter really sticking to the roof of one's mouth. Huh?
Mm.
Do you eat peanut butter?
I used to be a big peanut butter fan.
Really?
Yeah, where I would just get a spoon and eat it right out the jar.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
You were deep.
Yeah, I was big time. Had to be Skippy. So,
Yeah.
Skippy.
There is a difference in brand.
Between Skippy and Jif.
Yeah.
I don't know what Jif is. No offense. But
What?
Skippy. I ain't even like Peter Pan. Had to be Skippy.
Don't. Okay.
Pray for me. Pray for
I
me.
love peanut, but I thought about that.
I used to be a big peanut butter fan.
Okay.
Big time.
But when I saw this phobia, I was like, wow, that's it. That's serious business right there, though. that I mean, when we think about phobias, somebody out there is like on the serious side, have an intense fear or emotional distress.
Well, I think about it in the Ludacris commercial.
The Ludacris commercial.
You ever seen him where
With peanut butter?
it's a peanut butter commercial he's promoting. And,
Oh.
and so, like, I guess he in the studio, but he's not rapping correctly. So he takes some peanut butter, and then he can't move his mouth and everything. But it's like the best rap song ever. And so the producer like, yeah, that's good. And so I'm like, I wonder for those people who have that fear, they were like, I don't like this commercial.
Right. Wow. Okay.
You have to see it. You can Google it very easily, and you can see it. Look for peanut butter Ludacris commercial. It's out here.
Okay.
Everything.
All right. Well, that was interesting, right? I found that interesting that is a phobia. Don't do that. You listen. We need to be educated, right? And a part of this is, looking up interesting things that
So
people
I looked at the
across.
word.
Did you look up the Google?
I looked up a couple of different definitions.
Okay.
So one said
what'd you find?
it's not about it being a fear of, where it said it's not a fear of, hold on, let me tell you what I saw.
Peanut butter?
Yeah, it's not a fear of peanut butter.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I saw, let me go back. It says that it says is actually not a fear of peanut butter as an object, but the situation. It's fear of the situation, having it stick to the roof of your mouth.
Okay. I
It's
said that. Sticking to the roof of your mouth.
Yeah, she did say that.
Okay. I'm just telling you what it, okay, go ahead.
Listen, those of
They'll
us
eat
who've
the
had
peanut butter, but they're, in
the
the back
fear
of their mind.
is what you just said. What's gonna happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sticking to the that is a serious thing when it sticks to the roof of your mouth. You got to spend some time, especially if you're eating it with crackers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, don't do that. Somebody has a fear. But did he go on to explain, right? What did they not desiring to happen, or the fear of what would happen if
It says it's often rooted in more generalized phobia of choking or of sticky textures, but it also may occur alone. It's uncommon to have more than one phobia or to misdiagnose your condition without professional help, blah, 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 blah. Like all phobias, this one varies in severity from person to person.
Yeah.
For instance, some people are able to consume small quantities of peanut butter, perhaps as a dip for a vegetable, while others are afraid to eat peanut butter at all. In some cases, the fear extends to the other peanut. Because I, you know what, and I think, I don't recall, but I used to be like, I would put as much peanut butter on the spoon as I could.
Wow.
Just to.
Did
So
you?
my mom would literally buy 2 jars, one to make peanut butter sandwich with and one for me to eat out of, because anybody wanted to be eating out of the one I was eating
Did
out
you
of.
chew it?
Kinda, yeah. But it would be stuck to the, it literally would be stuck to the roof.
Right.
But I thought that was fun. I didn't know that was a phobia.
Well, it's not a phobia for you.
But the same
You're not
thing,
worried
though.
about choking.
But you know what, though? It happens with grilled cheese.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
What
Cheese.
kind of cheese are
or
you all
pizza.
eating?
Well, with grilled cheese, I'm a
It's the-
extra. I'm a little extra cheese on.
Oh,
Yes.
God.
Yeah, my grilled cheese got the Holy Ghost.
You have to have it stretch out. And
Right.
everything.
First of all, you need at least 3-4 kinds of at least
3 or 4?
cheeses.
What you trying to eat?
So one slice won't do.
One slice? What are you,
What
2?
kind
Well, that baby don't eat no one slice.
She don't even eat cheese.
Oh, po fella. Okay.
I know you didn't hear what the poor fella. I know you didn't.
I didn't. What's how old is she?
8
I didn't eat no cheese. She don't eat like no cheese, no mac. She eat pizza though.
without the cheese.
What the hell kind of pizza? What is
Trust
that?
me, we go through a thing. Loves pizza, but will scrape off the topping completely.
So no macaroni and cheese.
Oh no tacos, no.
So hamburger plain.
Plain.
So see, I was a plain.
Plain.
I was not a cheese fan because I wasn't eating macaroni and cheese. I did eat grilled cheese, but I didn't want cheese on my burger. I got like to be like 14, 15 when I discovered what cheese did to a hamburger. And I discovered that how the anointing was in the craft cheese. And then my anointing grew from, Kraft to cheddar, and then to Wisconsin cheddar, then to Sharp, then to mild, then to pepper jack. Glory to him. It just,
How you gonna have a whole sermon about cheese?
I
huh?
was just over here like we went from
Get the cheese, huh? Come through. Anyway, but with grilled cheese that can happen too. I've had that happen, and that is worrisome to me with the grilled cheese.
Okay.
Because it's like because with the peanut butter, I guess I'm talking about just the peanut butter itself, but with grilled cheese, it is the bread,
to chew.
and you
Yeah.
can feel like you are like, okay, let me try to get this out. Yeah.
I can't believe
Do
you
it
do
again.
more than one slice of cheese.
What? I can't. You eat? Do you even eat grilled cheese
I do with one
So,
slice.
with one slice?
Yes.
on 2 pieces of bread?
Yes.
What kind of is it? Just a regular Kraft slice, or you use like some deli cheese at least?
I use depends
Is
on
it
what
a
I
big
have.
cut
But
of
First of all, is it even? I forgot what I'm talking to. Is it even real cheese? Because
because she
it could be like leaf cheese,
right. She'll go get the
tree
what's
bark
that?
cheese. She milked the tree.
The black people bread that don't even brown.
Right. She got that cheese from. It ain't even come from a cow. Like what did your cheese? You use is it almond milk cheese?
ew. really tight. Really tight. All right. You know what?
You know he got you. And I get in trouble for that. Really tired. Oh, wow. He in trouble. He cracked the joke, not me.
I'm just asking the question.
It is
Do
real cheese.
Like what kind of
I
cheese?
love sharp cheddar.
So is it a slice of sharp cheddar cheese?
It's a slice of sharp cheddar.
Now
Or
is
if
it?
I have the
You
shredded.
bought it from the deli,
Yes.
so they sliced it for you. So it's a little thicker than a slice of thin Kraft American cheese.
I don't make grilled cheese.
Okay, so it's a thick piece of cheese then. That's different
Okay.
because it's the thicker piece of cheese. Now, does it melt? Is the question?
Yeah, it melts. Yeah.
Okay, because the shredded cheese don't melt on grilled cheese.
Yeah.
That cheese is not really made to melt.
The Sargento.
But that powder that they use, I know what I'm talking. That powder they use to keep the cheese separate.
The
Treatment that they put on it.
The tree grating, pretty much.
Right. That's what stops. That's why they don't want you to use that when you're making like a queso.
Oh, Lord.
The baby don't eat no queso.
Baby don't eat no
she
cake.
don't.
She don't even know. Ooh, she don't know the
Do she eat
anointing of the
tacos?
Uncle
No.
Julio's.
When I say nothing.
No taco. But do she eat no taco?
No.
Huh?
No.
Dang. Well, a Mexican taco, an authentic taco, doesn't have cheese on it anyway.
I know. But
I just think the concept, anything that even hints on,
Cheese. I need to understand. I need to have them
I
come
think
on.
I'd be auditioning.
Have
to
her
be a
come on the
mouse.
show
I like cheese.
tomorrow and discuss why she don't eat cheese. That's a whole interview.
She'll come on the show when?
Tomorrow to discuss why we don't eat cheese.
At the wedding.
The wedding is at 5:30.
oh,
Ain't
What?
no show.
5 o'clock.
Ain't no show.
anyway.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Your show. Come on back. Praise
Okay,
Jesus.
So that was good knowledge. I found that an interesting fact, right? I think that works. That gives more explanation to the fear of choking, right? And I know it's just not the fear of choking, but with the whole peanut butter thing, yeah, obviously that's the extreme fear. It's choking on peanut butter. I love crunchy peanut butter though.
Huh?
Me too.
Love crunchy peanut butter.
All peanut butter.
Yes.
Crunchy? Like with the
Crunchy.
like
With the
where you can
peanut.
still
With the
crunch a peanut?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's chunky.
That ain't peanut butter.
Chunky and crunchy. And
That's peanut butter with chips. With peanuts. That ain't peanut butter.
speaking of chips.
Peanut
y'all
butter
seen-
is supposed to be like butter. You want crunchy butter? You don't
y'all
want no
seen
crunchy
the
butter.
Reese's cup with the potato chips in it.
Oh, okay. You know,
Angela say me too. Nobody want no crunchy peanut butter. What's wrong with y'all?
I can't see no comments over here, but okay.
You can't for real?
No, I see the ones from Monday.
You don't see no new comments.
Oh,
She got gotta. You should.
Oh, you might have to refresh.
And
it.
when she refresh, she's not gonna see those either.
That's okay. Just refresh anyway.
Okay. So here we go. All right. So God bless those people who have that fear.
Yeah, bless them.
For real. That's serious business. All right, here we go. We are jumping in this month talking about seasonal depression. And I think Thanksgiving fall on the last Thursday of this
My favorite holiday.
Of this month. And so here we go. I think about seasonal depression. We hear that term a lot around this time of year. And I wanted to jump into talking about that now because I get a little disturbed when I hear people welcome it as if it's a part of their routine, right?
Really?
It's that time of year. My seasonal depression is going to be here, and there's less proactive measures taken to prevent it, but it's welcome, if that makes sense, right? And I hear the conversation, yeah, it's about that time of year. I'm going to start doing this or experiencing that, and typically around this month, my body starts to do this, and it's not much conversation about what to do to prevent it. If you're saying it now, and you know it takes you down, and know it brings you down energy-wise, mentally, physically, spiritually, why not create a plan to counteract the symptoms that you say you feel around this time of year? Like people, some people habitually, right, get into like every year I have seasonal depression. And I often wonder sometimes, like, is that looked at as a condition that can be addressed, right? Do you have to go through seasonal depression and it being debilitating? Does that make sense? Like, if we know this exists, right? And I'm gonna get into, just kind of, because we live in a state where, it gets darker sooner, right? Our days are cut shorter. So we know that the sunlight, right, is the primary reason for our moods changing around this year. Then what do we do to counteract the impact of losing sunlight? And not just embrace and welcome this particular depressing spirit that we know can plague us, right, as a state. So I wanted to jump into talking about that, what it is, and question and challenge people to treat themselves. And what I mean by treat is, what's your regimen? What's your regimen to minimize the impact of seasonal depression? Right? If you had high blood pressure, diabetes, gout, all this kind of stuff, right? You would have a regimen, you would have a prescription, you would have a routine to minimize the impact, the pain, the debilitating effects of such conditions. Why not approach this the same way? All right. So that's kind of where I wanted to start with this, is talking about seasonal affective disorder.
Angela says, I heard folks in Alaska, yes, sometimes go through due to their
norm. Yeah. And I don't know the stats. I wish
for being in the dark all the day, because there's a period over there that it's dark all the time.
Well, I had a friend. He had a light.
Yeah. Yes.
He kept the light.
In
Let's
Alaska.
talk about that.
No,
Yeah.
Here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Here. Like, because it is kind of hard to, 5, 6 o'clock, all of a sudden it is pitch black, and
Even now,
even
think about it.
Right now,
like
it's
for
dark.
you get up and got to, you have to be at work at 8, but if you leave out at 7 o'clock, it's still dark.
Yeah.
And then getting off at 5 o'clock, it's still dark. It's dark, so you've been locked up the entire time.
I've experienced that.
Yeah, so I know what that. Yeah,
Especially when it rains.
It's draining. It's draining on the body. Like,
absolutely.
Like today, I was like, I had to get up because it was like, just to see, like, it's dark, and I almost feel like you didn't get anything accomplished. But basically you still have time to do stuff, but you feel like you don't have time to, it just feels later than what it should. Like last night, I was running errands and everything, and I just felt like it's 10 o'clock. No, every time I turned around, it's 8:09. It's this, it's that. You know,
and because when it's dark, or even when we are preparing our bodies to go to sleep, what you're gonna talk about, we naturally produce melatonin, right? Darkness produces melatonin, and so therefore, sunlight produces serotonin, right? So darkness helps us produce melatonin, right? Hence, that's why we take it at night to go to sleep. But sunlight produces serotonin, right?
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah.
Darkness produces melatonin.
The body, right? When it's dark, you're sitting in dark.
Mine must not work then.
That's why people want to. That's why people want to take it.
Mine must not work.
Some people don't have enough of it.
My melatonin.
But you can't. You can't have it. You can't have.
I can't take melatonin. No, because part of one of the side effects is headaches.
Really?
Yeah.
My clients be like, I was knocked out.
Yeah.
You know, some people give their kids, the gummies with melatonin.
Yes, they do.
But or
Yes.
for you don't have to have melatonin. You could try valerian root, and it's just some drops.
Okay. So
I mean, if you want to go to sleep.
Trying to give me this Game of Thrones remedy, Valeria root. That's like where the dragons came from, ain't it? Valeria. Go ahead.
Oh Lord. So seasonal affective disorder. We talk about light. So thank you for the introduction into the light, because it's relating to a reduction of light, right? And this is why we believe that the winter season contributes to this particular mood disorder. And so when you think about who suffers from it, right? We think about what's going on in the body as it relates to what people feel, right, around this time of year when daylight is shorter, when, there's more rainy days, cold days. And, we're living in Chicago, so we understand when a thunderstorm comes,
right,
it can turn pitch black.
Yes.
Right? And so again, there goes the body, right, kicking into this lack of energy, because light, right, sunlight, or we're going to talk about fluorescent light, helps the body produces energy, right? The serotonin, it's that chemicals that's being produced in the body. And so just looking at that,
that's interesting.
Some of the causes of seasonal affective disorder is the circadian rhythm, right? The internal clock, or the sleep-wake cycle, responds to changes between light and dark to regulate your sleep, mood, and appetite. The longer nights and shorter days of winter can disrupt your internal clock, leaving you feeling groggy, disoriented, and sleepy at inconvenient times. So I often hear people say when it's raining outside, dude, this good sleeping weather, right?
Amen. That'd be my thought.
But when you look out the window, it's gray. The clouds are gray.
Yeah.
It's dark outside. You just want to sit.
Especially if you already in the bed. Yeah. And you hear the thunder and you hear the rain hitting the window and you like, do I need to go in there today?
I think some folks stop working too when it's raining outside, because it's just like
what's interesting you say that is because first thing I thought about because Angela mentioned Alaska, and I instantly thought about the complete opposite when you go to the Caribbean. So in the Caribbean, I don't know if when you were in Jamaica, did it rain at all while you were there?
It did a lot.
It rained.
It was like, let's go.
But they come and then they stop. And then the sun comes right back out like it never happened. And you're like,
it stayed out. Like it was raining. It was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it rains. And then it's like the worst rain. You're like, dang. And then it's like, and then, well, they're getting the leftovers. But it's like, wow. So I don't think they have that they probably don't have. I'm sure if you looked at some statistics, that their level of depression over there is probably not like ours over here.
Just free spirit. Yes, Lord. Yes.
Everything is everything, man. All right. Everything is everything. I'm Jablaxican. Remember that.
Really? Okay. Okay, so the circadian rhythm, right? Sleep patterns, your internal clock, sleep-wake cycle is thrown off, right? And then we have the production of melatonin. When it's dark, it says your brain produces the hormone melatonin to help you sleep. And then sunlight during the day triggers the brain to stop melatonin production so you feel awake and alert. During the short days and long nights of winter, however, your body may produce too much melatonin, leaving you feeling drowsy and low on energy. Right? So I think about just for me, so my office, my window's open. And so when it's dark, right, for prolonged periods of the day, the sunlight is not out, I feel a difference in my energy because I open the blinds for light. That natural sunlight. So I know that there's a difference in my energy level if most of the day is dark because of, the weather, temperatures are dropping and it's cold or snowing. I think about those snowy days that we have where, it gets dark really quick, right?
4 o'clock.
Yeah. Oh, and then the sun didn't come out as much or as bright, right? And so most of the day was dim. Right, I do see a difference there, but for some people, this particular symptom ranges for a prolonged period of time. Okay, and then it says here production of serotonin. The reduced sunlight of winter can lower your body's production of serotonin, which is a neurotransmitter that helps regulate the mood. A deficit may lead to depression and adversely affect your sleep, appetite, memory, and sexual desire. Repeat that back. Production of serotonin, right? The reduced sunlight of winter can lower your body's production of serotonin, right? That's that feel good neurotransmitter that helps regulate the mood. Deficit may lead to depression and adversely affect your sleep, appetite, memory, and sexual desire.
Serotonin.
And we know that vitamin D, right? If we look at vitamin D.
Oh.
Deficiency, right?
Oh,
we
deficiency.
often ask people to go get their vitamin levels checked because we know vitamin D is one of those deficiencies that, helps the body produce the serotonin, right? Makes you okay for most of the day. Okay.
All right.
So you actually get it from the pharmacist, okay? You go to a store and you purchase it.
Oh, not the street pharmacist.
No, please don't go to the street pharmacist.
Okay.
It comes in a bottle. All right. And there's no substitutes for vitamin D.
I'm sorry. Baby girl over got all the snacks. She over there getting it though. I'm so jealous right now. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go.
You're funny.
It's hilarious.
Okay, so that's that, right? Production of melatonin, right, is higher, meaning because it's dark, right, your brain is triggered. It doesn't turn off, right? The production of melatonin, leaving you to feel low energy and drowsy. But then there's also a decrease in serotonin, right? Which is that hormone that regulates our mood, right? For all practical purposes, we feel okay, right? Wise, we're content, okay? And so we know that just in the region that we live in, that's one of our risk factors. Right, just where we live demographically. And so, we want to take that in consideration. And this is why I say, for me, when you talk about symptoms of a disorder, you don't want to wear this or you don't want to use these symptoms as if it's a part of who you are on a day-to-day basis, right? Because if you wake up saying, hey, I got to deal with my seasonal depression right now, it's almost like you've owned it. Right. And now you're caring for it instead of minimizing its impact. Right. So if you stay at home from work or wherever you need to be, are you taking care of yourself to minimize the impact versus staying in bed, keeping the lights off? Are you opening up the blinds? Are you taking those walks? Right. Getting some fresh air. Are you at home, right, enclosed in? Right. So just really, understanding that, I want this conversation to open up. If you feel like you display or you experience symptoms of seasonal depression or seasonal affective disorder, create a plan of action to address the symptoms, right? And so here are some of the symptoms of seasonal affective disorder, right? Feeling depressed with no motivation every day for long periods, feeling of helplessness, lack of energy, a loss of interest in activities you used to like. And many of this sounds like regular depression, right? Major depressive disorder. Well, that's kind of, we often say you can't experience seasonal affective disorder without some meeting some criteria for major depressive disorder, right? Because it's depression is depression, right? And so I think that you have to look at your entire year in your mood, right? Because we often say summertime sparks anxiety, right? Because of, the sunlight, and I'll get into that in a moment. But you feel sluggish, you feel agitated, you can't concentrate, and some people have frequent thoughts of death or suicide. So when you're checking in on your loved ones, we know that this is a very vulnerable time of year as well for people. So that person who does associate themselves with having seasonal affective disorder, and it's a rough time of the year period, we need to make sure we are checking in on them, but also helping them create a plan of action, right, to address the symptoms. I'm all about addressing the symptoms of this particular disorder. And so the difference between winter blues, as they say, and summer depression is that in the summertime, you feel more anxiety with the depression. Okay? So the comparison is symptoms during the winter reflect low energy, hypersomnia, oversleeping, overeating, weight gain, carb cravings, and social withdrawal. Right? And when you think about that, many people talk about these symptoms, especially the social withdrawal. They don't want to be around anybody. They're not going to any events. And, it's the holiday season. Everybody's throwing some type of something, right? But they're sleeping a lot more, a lot of fatigue, overeating, weight gain, so forth and so on. But in the summer, we hear more of or know more of episodes of violence, weight loss, poor appetite, insomnia, restlessness, and anxiety. So you're on one extreme, right? Summer sparks this, but the winter tends to debilitate you, more so being isolated, right, with your symptoms versus being out, right?
I think it frustrates you. I know, like, I just remember last year how bad the winter was because I needed to get tires. And so my car, like, literally sat in the same spot for, like, 2 weeks because I couldn't move it. Because like the tires were just like bad, so I need to get tires, but I couldn't even get the car out of the parking space.
Oh wow! I remember, yeah.
And so it was that was a level of depression, because it felt, even though I was able to get out because she had her truck, but it was still a thing of like this weather just is taking like all of your energy. Yeah. Then you're fighting for parking spaces and trying to people gotta I'm not looking forward to that at all. Yeah. People putting, their whole living room, the baby whole bedroom set is in the parking space, with the futon. And the Barbie dream house, the whole Barbie dream house, the whole Barbie kitchen. It wasn't a real Barbie? Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
Yeah. So, thinking about that, right? Who's more at risk for seasonal affective disorder? Who's more at risk? It says here that the likely candidates are women. The most affected patients for, we call it SAD, is a woman. Right? Women are about 4 times more likely to develop SAD than men. Right? They make up between 60 and 90% of those who suffer from the winter blues or summer anxiety. Women age 18 to 55 are most likely to experience seasonal affective disorder. This is due to serotonin levels, which are affected by things like menopause and PMS.
All righty.
Right? Really?
Okay.
Pray for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Which obviously makes sense that does change, right? The hormonal presentation.
Absolutely.
No, see, you didn't have to say it like that. All right, here we go. So, in still going with that, right, we know that when you think about SAD, right, the lack of sunlight has also been linked to how we cope with stress, right, during this time of year. And so it says here that the two main causes are actually stress and biological predisposition. And it says that if there's a history of seasonal affective disorder, meaning in your family or with yourself, you could be more susceptible to getting seasonal depression, meaning, a history of depression in itself, of your family has a history of depression. And I'm not, we can dispute all day long. I've heard some people think that it's a genetic factor.
I've heard people say that, but I've never read any real proof.
And it's more of coping, right? And demographically, how you have it's hereditary, meaning this is how we.
This is how we cope with stuff.
Correct.
That doesn't mean it's It's
not a gene.
It's a learned thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's different from where bipolar can be. That can be in the gene.
Or schizophrenic. We know that
some of that can be in the
evidence.
But I think people try to equate the two. Mm-hmm. When you go through these mood swings and all that. Well, one has nothing to do with the other. Yeah.
So just thinking about that, family history just kind of goes with, again, what we're talking about now, how you cope with those symptoms of depression, right? And we do what we're taught, right? We if we're taught to handle our bodies a certain way or certain parts of the year, we do that growing up, and we get to a point where it just doesn't work anymore, right? It worked back then for them, which we could think back and say, okay, not really, right? And now fast forward, it's debilitating you more. Okay. And it says during the winter, when there's less sun, people with seasonal mood disorders can't handle stress as easily. The dark days make it more challenging to meet deadlines because they're more exhausted. And this puts you in a more stressful situation as it is, and you're not able to cope with that stress either. All right. And so we're big on light with this, right? Because in essence, we're saying sunlight has a critical role, right, in helping your body produce, that natural serotonin. But what happens when there's a significant deficiency, you need to address it. And so, like here, right, these lights here, believe it or not, it brings energy. Right.
Yes.
And, so even doing this, I feel like if we didn't have these lights, we may kind of be slow dragging, or the thoughts are not coming clear.
Lights change the mood.
Yes.
And the way you set them changes the mood. It's kind of like when you go to a restaurant for dinner.
Yes.
They have a tendency to be darker.
Yes.
At the nicer restaurants.
Yes.
The steakhouses, they're darker versus you go into the taco joint and it's bright. They got every light on, and it's party time. It's like, come on, But the bougie taco joint is dark because it's kind of more of an upscale spot. So, it does, and I just thought about this too, and I've only been once to Vegas, but it's like at the casinos, they purposely don't have windows. They purposely don't have windows in casinos because they don't want you worrying about what time it is. There's no windows and there's no clocks. No windows and no clocks.
Okay.
So literally what's going on is it's like, because they get in there and they want you to be in there and let the time pass, and before you know it, 5-6 hours have passed. And so if you came in there when the sun was up, they don't want you to know that the sun has gone down and that you've been there all night, and now the sun back up again. You've lost track of time.
And here comes the
unless you're wearing a watch.
Right?
Right, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even on the riverboats, even on the local joints, no windows. Nothing to let you know what outside looks like, because they want you to make sure that everything you need is in that room. No focus on the light. We're going to keep it bright in here for you all day.
Lights, camera, action.
All day. Yeah.
Okay.
So they say, what is New York, the city that never sleeps, always bright? Yeah.
All right. So talking about, right, this disorder, mood disorder, seasonal affective disorder, depression. Around this time of year, many people do get prescribed medication, right? Antidepressants. And so I like to look at this as, right, I know that we have to become stable, right? Physically, emotionally, and mentally. And so part of that is a prescription that can help with the boosting the serotonin levels in the brain, right? Remember that serotonin is the governing of our mood, right? It governs the mood. And so when we don't produce enough serotonin, we can become depressed. And so, yes, many people, many people try the natural route, like I talked about the vitamin D and just watching what they eat, which we'll get into in a moment here. But sometimes people do need a low dose antidepressant, right? And it can be helpful during this quote unquote season. And so, some of the most common medication that are prescribed is are Paxil, Prozac, and Zoloft. Okay, and it should be used as a temporary regimen. It's not recommended for long-term use. Okay, and so that's what I say about how are you addressing these symptoms, right? If we can pinpoint that we live in a region where it gets darker earlier, right, and at any moment light outside can change. And it could be for a prolonged period of time. How do you plan on taking care of your body? Right? Addressing the symptoms. If you feel your mood shifting, what do you plan on doing about it? And for how long, right? I think many of us have to take a look at before this season started, how was your mood? Right? Because when did fall technically start? Remember what day? Fall, the first day of fall?
It was September 23rd-ish, somewhere up in there.
So just because the day came,
right,
your body wasn't like, okay, now let's go.
No, because the weather, if you walked out door and it was still 92 degrees, it's like, I know what the calendar say. Yeah, because it's just like, even like today can be depressing as all outdoors. But if we wake up tomorrow and it's 75 degrees, all of a sudden that one day.
So it's kind of like that, how were you before the season? Right? The season arrived. And where are you now? Right? Where are you now? Assessing where are you now and how are you being proactive that you don't become debilitated? And so we talked about, bringing in a light, right? We have a such thing called light therapy, right? Which is one of the easiest ways to counter SAD is exposing yourself to more light, right? And sunlight is free. Right? So we often say, hey, I know many of us have tinted windows. Well, I don't, right? But
why not?
The car didn't come with it, and I didn't get it put in.
Oh,
right?
okay. All right.
But rolling down the windows, right? Letting down the windows, right? To receive the fresh air and the light, right? And we know sometimes the sunlight is just not beaming, but in the morning it is. Right, depending, especially the direction you're going in. So understanding that letting your window down, right, can help with the light. Turning on the lights in your home, right, and I'm not saying leave them on all night or when you're not there, but understanding you shouldn't be in a house where all the lights are just cut off, right? Because remember, your body the natural light has been minimized, so therefore you now have to create an environment where your body is producing right the serotonin and reducing the melatonin. You understand what I'm saying? So I know we got this thing where cut these lights off, right? You don't pay no bills.
Get ComEd out your pocket. So Gom used to say, keep ComEd out your pocket.
But they often say that fluorescent lights are the most effective. Right? Fluorescent lights are the most effective with helping your body, right, turn off or slow down its production of melatonin during this time of year. Okay. It says here that you can use regular lamps to light up your house or your office space. And I know many people do that. I know we have, the facilities lights, but many people have lamps on their desk, right, in their office, because, it's a matter of, okay, I need to feel different. Like I need to feel like I'm up, right? And sometimes office lights are dim in itself, right? But you have to wake up. So many people actually bring in their own lights. And of course, if this is permitted, this is also can help you out with those feelings of depression. Okay. And so there are many things out there as it relates to getting more natural light, but also, creating your own space where you bring in the light yourself. All right. So keep that in mind. That is another way to counteract these symptoms of seasonal affective disorder. Okay. And so we're talking about planning ahead. All right. When you're feeling exhausted and your mood deteriorates, it becomes more difficult to handle stress. So how are you handling stress right now? Right? Are you effectively managing your day-to-day life routines? Right? Are you easily frustrated now? I know one of the things for me, school started back, and just kind of, the bus service was still kind of funky, but my routine changed after a year or so, right? Being at home, working. And so meal prep has been the most challenging thing. The most challenging thing, right? And so understanding like the whole, okay, if you don't manage this stress, what do you tend to do, right? Think impulsively. Right. And so now you're not taking care of your body like you need to. And that's causing more stress, right? Because now, your wardrobe may become a little limited.
Facts.
Right. And so really understanding that is critical around this time of year. If your mood is affected this time of year, plan ahead as to how you can and will manage your stress. What are some things you will do to decompress? Right? How will you handle people that irritate you? Some people don't have an answer for that. Right? How do you handle people who irritate you? What do you do with your body? Right? Meaning, okay, do you get riled up? Do you hold it in? Do you, sit with that thing and let it manifest? Right? What do you do when people irritate you? Okay, that warrants a plan of action, whether that be, reading some inspirational, material, calling a friend, not necessarily you addressing that person, because not all the time is that appropriate.
Absolutely.
Right? So you have to have other tools. You have to have other outlets to say, okay, when I feel irritated, what are my top options? Right? And it has to be more than two. Has to be more than two. We say you should at least have 5 options. Right?
Interesting.
5 options. Okay? Because that's guaranteed one of those 5 will be available to you at that moment. Right? If you can't call your best friend or, whoever that is that can make you smile, right? Then you go to your inspirational sermon, or, if you're spiritual, do you have your playlist ready? Well, if you don't have Wi-Fi, right? Do you have your books, right? These are options that you have to create for yourself to say, when one is not available, I'm going to try, right? All 5. One of those 5 have to be there. All right. So thinking about that, handling your stress. Can you all think of some other stress that goes on around this time of year, like what you've seen people not manage well, but we routinely go through it
Financial.
every year? You said finance?
Financial. Because people
Yeah.
way overdue too much.
Wait.
Overdo too much. Way overdue too much.
Uh-oh.
Overdue too much. Yeah. Yeah. I just thought that's how I feel about it. They do way too much. Yeah. Like they
Meaning
overdo.
what though? What's the drive behind?
Because they
overdoing?
are either trying to. You have that group of people who are trying to, I didn't have it when I was a kid, so I want to make sure my kids have it. You got that group of people.
Okay.
Then you got the people that's trying to keep up with the other people.
Yeah.
So I know he getting the PS5. I got to make sure my baby get a PS5, even though I can't find one. And I'm gonna do what I got to do, and I'm gonna spend an extra $800 so that my child can have these Yeezys, even though his grades suck. He gonna come home with I'm gonna get to my baby these Yeezys. Yes, all of that.
And I think those without kids.
Yes, even without kids, right? Yeah, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
It's this over. It's this thing that have a tendency to overdo it, and financially we put ourselves in binds just so we can say we had a great holiday season.
Right.
Yeah.
And one of the things
because January is coming.
That I heard maybe about a month ago, maybe a couple months ago, where they were saying in the media, buy the toys now because by November, December, you won't be able to get toys.
Yeah, because they're sitting on the
they
freight.
sent this message, right? and in my mind, I was like, well, we just won't have no toys.
Yeah, okay. All right, sleep with one eye open.
Okay.
She look like she gonna get you. I'll share that with you off camera, off show.
But you understand? But think about parents who, when you say, I know this time of year is coming up, right? We know we want to give the best to our kids, and your plan was not to quote unquote do what you needed to do in October, September, October. But you're telling me now that I need the finances now, and if I wait, right, that this is going to affect my home, right, the way my kids feel, or the way we'll be on one accord if that works. You understand what I'm saying? Especially if I'm working with a co-parent, right? If I'm working with a co-parent and you putting this out in the media, there goes my stress, right? And if I already have these symptoms, I'm already struggling here. You got to think about, like, don't let external factors determine how you take care of yourself. When I heard that, I was just like, oh well, because during the pandemic, she learned how to shop on Amazon. So for me, what are we missing, right? If you know that you just spent a year online shopping, and now you're gonna let somebody on the outside tell you that we're gonna have a toy shortage, and you just you just overdid it, right? Shopping, from home. I don't feel bad at all. I really don't. Because if I step on, let me just stop there. If I step on another toy,
Sounds personal.
I'm just saying though. That reminds.
What in the Dream Killer? What happened? One of my co-workers does that with her little kids. She went for recess when they play inside and they have toys in the room. Any toy that's left out so there's a song that comes on when recess is about to end. So the song is plays for 4 minutes. When the song comes on, that means you need to be cleaning up.
Yeah.
Any toy that's left out can no longer be played with for that week. It's gone.
Oh, it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. So so they be like, yeah. So a lot of times people leave stuff out, and so if it's a piece from a game, then the whole game goes away.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah, Miss Walker don't be playing. she don't play no games. She like,
I told y'all.
Put the whole game up. Could you imagine you playing Monopoly and somebody left a $100 bill out? It is. But you talking about throwing stuff away.
That's really okay.
Because especially if it's something I want to play with. Man. But see, I was never that kid though. My stuff was never just out.
Okay.
Yeah, my stuff had to be organized every day. Yeah. Toys, that is.
So I don't feel bad, right? I didn't position myself to say, oh, let me go and do this now so I won't face any issues, quote unquote, around my shopping time that I've designated. But there are parents who like, okay, I need to do this now and I don't have the funds and we have rent due. We're trying to catch up. I just went back to work and, here we go, right, with this roller coaster here. So I just wanted to put that. Don't let external factors, right? Don't let external factors dictate how you handle your finances, and which affects your mood and your energy, right? Because now, I've seen people find ways not to celebrate the holidays, especially Christmas, right? And this breaks my heart when I hear that some parents have gone to the extreme of not having a Christmas, quote unquote, because of something the child, that was the punishment. No, I've had the kids at school say that you're gonna mess up my Christmas. If you call my mama, you're gonna mess up my Christmas. That's literally what they'll tell you. Don't call. Please don't call. You're gonna mess up my birthday. You're gonna mess up my Christmas. Don't call. Please. Don't call. That's a whole nother show.
Yes.
But yeah, I have issue with that because right. You know what I'm saying? You know, like just say you don't want to do it, right? Just say whatever it is.
Like they even playing on TikTok, just say my stuff expensive. Just say
Yeah.
as a parent,
Yeah.
don't have to say, just say you don't have it. You are the parent, you're gonna have to adult and
Yes.
say,
Yes.
I do not have the money to fund the needs that you want or think you should have right at this point. Like, I have the funds for this that's over your head.
But
People that don't have.
that makes perfect sense. But we know we're dealing with a different set of kids, and kids that's all in adult business. That's all in adult business. So you can't tell me I ain't got money for a PS5 and you rocking all the Coach and the Louis Vuitton bags over there and all of that. And like we found out during the pandemic hybrid class lessons, ain't he got, which one she get, the 10K or the 20K? Ain't he got the 20K, man? We finna be up. So they know.
Wow.
It ain't like back in the day when I didn't know. I didn't know my mama was struggling to make sure all my Christmas stuff was there. I had no idea.
Good point.
Because up until I found out it wasn't no Santa Claus. But that was a different type of conversation. But yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, all right. So we got it. We got turn the lights on.
Yes.
Right? Turn the lights up.
Because we love Santa Claus, but go ahead.
Now, we already know that was never presented.
So we good? Okay.
That never. I wish, no. No.
Oh, you're a mean mama.
Man, please.
No.
No.
You ain't want to let the Kris Kringle have a little fun?
No.
Oh.
Get your light, turn the lights up, roll your windows down,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Now we talk about therapy, right? Talking this thing out. Many benefit from attending proper therapy to sort out why it happens and possibly avoid future episodes. So it's getting ahead of it, right? So if you say, okay, I'm just here to see if I'm okay, right? It could be a prevention or an intervention to seek therapy, right? During this season. I often share with people, many people come in counseling for various reasons, meaning they can be goal oriented, right? To make sure they stay on track and they want somebody to check in with how they're feeling along the journey of trying to reach their goals. Many are struggling with career choices. There are those who are emotionally unstable, those who have mental illness. So counseling is for whatever you want to talk about in this safe space. All right? It's not because you're crazy. It's not because, okay, I'm just, I'm too far gone. Now I have to come in to see someone. No, go talk to someone now. All right? Because that's the appropriate space to do that. Now that's from the emotional, mental aspect. Let's deal with this sugar craving. All right? It says winter, SAD, is associated with weight gain because the lack of serotonin makes the person crave sugary foods.
Say that again. What happened?
Winter.
90 seconds.
Oh, go ahead. You good.
Winter, seasonal affective disorder is associated with weight gain because the lack of serotonin, right, the one that the neurotransmitters that regulate the mood, makes the person crave sugary foods.
Wow.
Okay. It says here weight gain when you suffer from seasonal depression can be attributed to sugar cravings. The lack of light during the winter, as we talked about, slows down the release of serotonin. And this is a brain's chemical that affects your mood. Gaining weight is going to have an adverse effect on how you feel. So it's counterproductive, right? So when you eat foods that are sugary or rich in carbs, you increase serotonin.
That's why you don't see no overweight people in the Caribbean.
It's important to eat healthy during the winter to keep energy up. While the sugar high might work temporarily, it does wear off, which causes a drop in blood sugar, leading to being, lethargic, right? Instead of sweet things, try to eat protein and nutrient foods for consistent energy levels.
That's interesting, though.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think about, already we are a carb driven, society. Our city is full of, we got the pizzas, most of the restaurants we have, they're high in carb, right? What they present to us. But looking at now, because of our bodies changing and how it functions, we have to be careful with, how we indulge in those sugar-rich foods, more proteins. And I know, we think about celebrations, a lot of celebrations. We already celebrate birthdays on our jobs or wherever we are. But when we think about this particular time of the year, there's so many celebrations, and we load up on the desserts, and we tend to, everywhere we go, we get a dessert. Does that make sense? Like, this is the time of year in general, right? We just had, we just passed Halloween, right? So we loaded up on, and the candy came out way. I'm pretty sure it's some Valentine's Day candy out now, but.
No, they did that one time. Target had it out on the other side, literally right after Christmas.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of. But no, yeah, the Halloween candy was out like, almost right after Labor Day.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as they took down the Labor Day decorations, here's the candy.
And this is where, and I'm just saying this for us to be mindful, and I know that's where I am, is being more mindful of what we allow to trigger us. Like, even at the grocery stores, I noticed that most grocery stores, when you first come in, they have the display of pastries. Absolutely.
Because it's the same way they have the display. It's all about mental. It's all mental. When you go into Costco and Sam's, what's the first thing you walk in the door? The televisions.
That is true.
And the first thing you start looking at, and even though you don't even need a TV, you will sit there and you'll look for a minute and be like, because they know you might not buy it, but if 1 out of every 10 people come in there, and because you think about it, and you have to keep this in mind. I don't know if I've ever seen it. I've never been to Costco. I've only been to Sam's a handful of times. But I've never been to a Costco, and I'm leaving or coming in that I don't see somebody leaving with a television. Ever.
Okay.
Ever.
Okay.
And my thing is, do they really need it?
Okay.
Right? So you think about even around, we were like what we have duly called hood rich season, tax time. Hood rich season. Because that's when you drive, if you parked in the alley or in the back, you see all these TV boxes, even at Christmas time. And you go, well, if y'all bought a TV last year, why is there a new TV box out here this year? Because they want you to do it on impulse. Think about it when you're checking out. What's at the checkout counter? The candy and the magazines. Because they want you to read the title and be like, she slept with who? Even if you don't do no, but pick it up and put it back down, they got you. But then you see them M&Ms sitting over there, and you like, man, it's the shareable bag. Let me go. And they 2 for what? Right. That's why they be 2 for. Because this one is mine and this one is yours. But that's the whole point. That's why the stuff that's good for you is never at the front door.
Oh, never.
And
So
it's
like
never
push the grapes by the front door.
and it's never where you can easily access it either. Like go in there trying to find, like go look for the whole grain wheat bread. You got to dig through all the regular bread first. Go look for something that's healthy, right? You got to go look for it, and it's more expensive. Yeah. You would think if they wanted us to be healthy that they would figure out a way to reverse the two. Yeah. Make the junk food more expensive. Like make parents start paying $5 for Takis.
Very true. Very true.
But make them nasty.
But they say
them things. Them veggie chip things. Ooh,
Why
God.
they say if you want to eat healthy, it's almost better to buy the generic.
The generic what?
The generic brand of anything. If you want to eat
Oh.
healthy.
Huh?
What?
They said if you want to eat healthy.
Where they do that at?
It was literally on the news, and it was
Will
like
it taste?
it was about 3 or 4 years ago. They said if you want to eat healthy,
I don't want to know what that be like. I don't want to know.
There go Bougigato right there.
See, she wants you to put some seasoned salt on your chicken. Just seasoned, not Larry's. Just seasoned salt.
Adobo?
When she thought she had a friend in Jesus.
You got a friend in me? Nope.
What?
Did you really say adobo?
You don't use adobo?
What that for?
Adobo.
You keep saying it like you're going, like that's gonna help.
Like to make a PDF?
That's Adobe.
Same difference.
Whole doctorate.
Listen. Okay then. No. Okay. What did we just gonna talk about seasonings?
We sure is, because I need you to get your stuff together. Don't you bring nothing here. We have a TTLO potluck. Kim, you buy your food directly. Matter of fact, just donate.
We'll get it for you.
Right. Right. We don't want no tree. Yeah. Can you bring some salad? It don't even be real lettuce. Do you eat real lettuce? Like, was it like some other kind of lettuce?
I eat kale.
Okay, kale is good.
But yeah.
Kale is good in the smoothie.
Okay, spinach.
Crunchy kale is excellent though. Tanya, what you know about crunchy kale?
Crispy kale.
Crispy kale. What you know about it?
You an excellent cook, baby.
You ain't had nothing, kid. Dr. Tom tell you had some crispy kale on top of your shrimp taco. Huh?
I don't do that well. I try to make kale chips.
Oh, that's what I want him to make.
And it doesn't come out well. So
No, I just do crispy kale. I don't know about no chips.
But if you prepare it in the same way, it just leaves the bigger leaf. There would be chips now.
I don't know.
Huh?
Huh?
I'm gonna get me some.
Okay. Yeah, crispy kale. It's like you just ball, you get the kale and you put some good olive oil and season it,
right.
and then you just spread it out on a cookie sheet and let it just get
right.
crispy. And then you
in the oven, right?
Yes.
That's where I need to tighten up on that recipe. Because I don't have it down to a perfect science.
I wonder, can you do it in the air fryer? Y'all probably can. I'm not about the air fryer life.
I am about the air life.
Y'all go ahead then. Bless y'all ministries.
So yeah, okay. Watch the carbs. Watch the dessert.
Betty Thomas says,
And my mama.
oh, hey, Betty Thomas. That's Kim Mom. She said, hard to resist the sweets. We really need to.
Did she tell our secret?
She said we too.
Struggle.
She spoke French. She said we. What I heard her say was y'all need to lay up off them sweets. Because Shorty over here.
She got a whole sweet juice.
She got a.
It ain't
Right,
nothing
Mr. Oliver
healthy
would take
about
that from her instantly, be like, this is because it's not 100% juice. You can't drink this. Oh, you be getting the call. You be mad.
That ain't nothing but thick medicine disguised in.
Oh
and
my God,
and she using that to wash down the gummy worms.
Your baby's gonna be up tonight.
Oh my goodness.
She gonna be at school tomorrow like that.
No. She Ray Sean best friend.
No, she probably don't eat it she probably not eating it in the morning because Rashawn eating it in the morning.
Nah, okay.
Yeah, he walk in the door.
They the same.
No, you letting that baby eat. See, that's your fault. I'm calling the people.
It's stashes where I don't even know where it come from.
See, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't even believe that. I don't believe that at all. You don't know where it come from.
I do.
Okay.
All right. So last thing on here, right?
Yeah.
So we talk about getting the lights on, right? Cutting the lights on, getting the fresh air. Natural sunlight is possible, but creating, more light in your space. Getting talk therapy, watching those sugar cravings, right? And that's the production, the serotonin that we're trying to address, but also now looking at physical activity, right? And really, really thinking about, because this is where we know that addictions can evolve from this type of depression, right? Meaning that sometimes people abuse those prescribed medications because they're trying to feel better so quickly, right? And it's really the high that they're getting, or the euphoria from taking so much, and we tend to see more overdoses this year as well. People trying to cope with depression. All right. So this is why we're trying to get in front of it to say, okay, let's take a look at what your day-to-day look like. Okay. And so to be preventative means that, watch what you do during the day. Right. And so that well-balanced diet should also be in conjunction with some form of physical activity. Whether that's, walking around the block. I know many gyms have opened back up. And I'm not talking about whether you're going in with a weight loss goal, but I'm just talking about physical activity to release, right? Those stress hormones, to release, those feelings that you have that's impacting your mood, right? So really thinking about I set a personal goal, right? That since I'm back in the office more frequently, that I'm going to start doing certain types of exercises, right, in my suite.
Okay.
Right, and we're right by stairs. Right?
Okay, so like in between clients. Okay.
So now it's up to me.
Yes.
Right, to do that. So if I choose to fill my day up with back to back clients, right, then I did that myself. Right, I scheduled myself to where I could not do it. So that was totally in my control. So that's one of the things I'm being proactive about, is making sure if now I'm at the office more, this is where I'm at primarily during the day, then I could do some squats, right? I could do some sit-ups, some push-ups. I can do the stairs for 5 minutes, right? And I could set my clock right on my phone to do some stairs for 5 minutes. Now that should be my regimen, right? I have to look at that as that's a prescription to myself, right? And so this is kind of where I am with looking at, if you know your mood, if you feel like, okay, this is the time of year where I feel a drop, right, in my energy. I feel a drop in, how my appetite, changes. It only wants certain foods, and right, you just feel blah, right, and groggy. Then get in front of this thing and say, what are you willing to do to combat these symptoms? Because when you come out of this thing, right, quote unquote, what, in February, March, have your success story. How did you tackle seasonal depression? Right? Will it debilitate you this year? Will it impair you this year? Will it make you dysfunctional this year? Change your narrative. Right? Change your narrative of how you plan to deal with seasonal depression if you know that you experience this every year. Right? So that's what I want to put out there, right? We open up this discussion. I want you to think about, where you are, but what are you going to do about it? What do you need? People, places, and things. Are there people you need to stay away from?
Ooh, come on now.
Right? I'm a firm believer in that, don't be around people who bring you negative energy. Right? The holidays coming. We're going to talk about this month. There may be some time limits you need to put on being around certain folk.
Yeah, you have to leave space for
right?
for not being around certain people. regardless of the holiday. Don't get caught up in it's a holiday, so you need to be around your family. But if you are the most negative person in the whole wide world, why would I want to spend the holiday with the most negative person in the whole wide world?
And to that comes you bringing up my past. To that comes
That's all you do. Everything is
me, we're gonna get into that, asking questions about when I'm gonna get married or have kids or do this and that, and going into the most vulnerable parts of people's lives just because you see us all together now. Right. So I want to help folk prepare. Right? What's the game plan to deal with Uncle so and so and Aunt Susie? What's the game plan to deal with Cousin Joe? Right? What's the game plan?
I know what it is. I ain't going. Really?
So that's what we're gonna prepare for. Like these preparing for the gathering.
They're gonna get gathered.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. Gathered.
It's gonna be called. Let me tell you another thing.
Right.
And another thing.
Yeah, you missed some words in there, but another thing, right? Something else before you get the thing.
Yeah. So I think because this is the year, the world is open back up. Many relationships were impaired, impacted and broken, right? And so now people are going to be coming together, right? This is the time where DV increases among, family members in general, and people get lit, right? Around this time just to be able to be around and tolerate certain members of their family. So why do you?
But see, you're not gonna see. I'm not finna let you mess up my good drink either.
What?
So I'm not, because see, if I'm gonna pour my good drink, I want to drink my good drink around good people. I ain't finna guzzle down my good drink so I can tolerate your self.
May the Lord what?
Huh? I mean, for real. Let me pour my good stuff. I got XO. You want me to pour this and sit here and look at your ugly ass? I wish I would. Just somewhere and sit down. I'd rather drink a root beer. I don't play that. I don't play that.
It didn't even happen yet.
No, I'm just saying. I don't. Like eating is not. You don't break. I don't.
Break bread with,
You just don't.
Yeah.
bad vibe people.
Yeah.
You don't take bad vibe people with you on great things.
And I think that
Come on
now,
now.
I want you to bring that.
Yes.
Right? Because that's the mindset of people.
Mhm.
Right? Like we're depressed already
Yeah.
thinking about who we're gonna be around,
Right.
because we have to go incognito.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Around people. No, I want you to be yourself, but create boundaries. I want you to be yourself, but understand you don't have to stay there for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours.
Sure don't.
Hello, how are you?
What time is dinner being served? At 3. I'll be there at 2:57. You need me to pray? I'll be there at 2:59. I won't come in, but my seat already designated. And then that lets me know, depending on where we're going to eat,
Right.
I'll know exactly how
Right.
my stomach and my brain have already had a conversation.
Yes.
Your mama has cooked a lot of food, so that means a lot of your favorite foods. So that means you got at least 2 hours you can do, 3 maybe, depending on what house you at.
So, yeah, we gotta talk about that.
Yeah, we got to talk about it.
We're prepping people for the holiday.
Yes,
What to do when?
right.
That's
And
what we kick it off next week.
and to use the right seasonings.
No adobo. No adobo.
Because we not finna do that.
Here she-
What you did last year, because it was an all vegetable Thanksgiving.
Oh, glory. I just remember. Why would you bring that back up to my memory?
I just thought about it.
You ain't have to say it out loud. Cardboard turkey. Rubber chitlins. Just wrong. Just wrong everywhere. I bet you the baby was sitting over here like, we ain't eating this.
Going into their sweet slumber upstairs.
Right. Could you imagine? If we don't have it. I don't. I mean, Yeah, we'll. Yeah,
gonna have an intervention
not that you were inviting us, but we're never coming.
Wow.
Just so you know.
Don't say we pay for us.
you be done canceled your show, everything by the time I got through. Trust me, that's my ex sister-in-law number 2.
Oh my goodness,
Ex-sister-in-law number 2.
That
Yeah.
is funny.
If you can't,
just help somebody though. You just help somebody how to tell up front. Don't worry about me coming.
Man,
I'm never coming.
because I've heard your descriptions.
You said it in my best grandfather's voice.
Man, ain't don't nobody want none of that. Ain't no, you gotta worry about that. Y'all gonna have plenty of that left. It's gonna be plenty of your tofu turkey. No, I'm sorry. The holiday, that's not the time to play. We do it every year. We do it right on our show. We do it every year about talking about this. Not the time to play with people's food. Ain't the time for your new recipes. If you tell me you putting if there are marshmallows in your sweet potatoes, don't invite me because you will get talked about on all of the internet. I'm gonna take a picture. If your greens is